Hey guys, it is Wednesday, April 22nd. Remember when we were back in school, Wednesday was short day, so I thought we'd just celebrate a little short day today. Okay, so I know some of you are saying, oh my gosh, we keep doing the same things over and over again. And yes, we kind of are, but these are important things and we've got to get good at these. I am going to start some new stuff tomorrow. There is a little bit of new in here, but what I found is if I ask you what's the perimeter or area of something, you get it. But when it turns into a word question, some of you are still struggling with that. So that's why we're practicing. The GED is mainly going to be word questions, word problems. So we got to get better at that. So hang in there with me. There's a few of you that are getting 100% every time. Don't forget there is Flash on GED Aztec, and that's better, I don't know what I want to say, more complicated practice questions. So you can always use those. And for those of you that are getting close to 100, same for you. And for those of you that are struggling, I want you to take notes, rewind, replay, think about things, go back to old notes, because we got to get this so we can move on. Okay, so here we go. This should look familiar to you because this was a question on one of your quizzes. What is the perimeter of parcel A? Okay, so right away it says perimeter. That was kind. The GED probably wouldn't say something so nice. They might say, what is the distance around? Or how much fence do you need? Those are common things for asking a perimeter question. So it says, what is the perimeter of parcel A? So I just want to know the outside of parcel A. Nothing with parcel B and C. Well, we know perimeter, we add. So we know we need to know this is 250, and so we know this is 250. So we've got to say 250 plus 250. Now, this side would be 340, and so would this side. So I've got 340 and 340. Add it up. I've got 0, that's 10, that's 18, that's 3, 6, 9, 11. So I found out that the perimeter is 1,180 feet. Not square, that's for area, just feet. Okay? Now, this one was also on the test. Oops, where'd it go? Okay, this one was missed by a lot of you guys. What is the perimeter of parcel C? So here is parcel C right here. Well, if from here to here is 500 and this much is 250, 500 minus 250 is 250. So we know that this is 250, which means this is 250. So we've got 250 and we've got 250. Here's the problem with this question. We need to know this side and this side. Well, a lot of you use the number 340, but wait, 340 is for the whole thing. This is where you guys are going to have to stop and think before you take the test, because they're going to ask you questions like this. The whole thing's 340. It looks like B and C are exactly the same. So take 340 and cut it in half, divide by 2. When you do that, you get 170. So that means this side is 170 and this side is 170. So now I've got 250, 170, 250, 170. Take those, add them up. I get 0, 10, and 14 makes 24. I get 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, and there we go. So it's 800, oops, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that wasn't on the screen. 840 feet. Okay, that was for this question. And these were the ones that you just finished. So if you missed a couple questions, now you can go back and see if that's what you had picked. Okay, this question, oh my goodness, guys. Look at the question. GED likes to do these kind of questions. What effect would the addition of parcel D be to the overall perimeter? So right now we have A, B, C. So let's say they put parcel D in. We don't know how big parcel D is, but let's just say they put it, I'm going to put it on this side because the other side's so messy. Let's say they put it right here. Do you think my perimeter would have increased? I hope you're saying yes, because I've added more. I've gone out further this way. So obviously my perimeter needed to increase. So there was only one answer. It will increase. If I'm adding on, it's going to increase, okay? This was the last one of the questions. Oh wait, maybe that was it. Nope, I'm sorry. That was it of those questions from the quiz. All right. I'm doing this again because some of you are still missing this, and I've done this like 3 videos, so we've got to get this, guys. If there's a parallelogram, so first thing I'm going to do is draw a parallelogram. And the acute, meaning the less than 90 angle, is 40 degrees. Okay, so that's 40 degrees. I know that this one and this one are equal. I know that a parallelogram, a square, a rectangle, a rhombus, and a trapezoid always equal the 4 angles to 360. So I know that this is 40 and I know that this is 40. 40 plus 40 is 80. Subtract. That's a 6, sorry. I get 280. Now 280 is for both of the angles. So I need to divide it by 2. When I take 280 divide by 2, I get 140. That means this is 140 and this is 140. How do I check? I add them all up. Okay, guys, we've done this so many times. I'm hoping today when you see this quiz, you'll get the question right from here, okay? All right. Here we go. This one we haven't done in a while, but I really feel this is important. So I'm going to give you a minute to try this one. Make sure you have a calculator for this one. Make sure you have old formulas. Look, the first one says, hey, what's the distance around the whole object? And the next question is, what's the area? So pause this, work on those, and I'll see you back here in a minute. All right, so back here, I hope you really did pause it. I hope you really did try it. So when it says distance around, that's asking perimeter. So from here to here and from here to here is 8 and 8. We'll call this feet. So 8 feet and 8 feet. So right now, we know this much. 8 feet plus 8 feet is 16 feet. But remember, we have this and this. So if I put this side and this side together, I have a circle. And what do I have? I have a diameter of 4. When I want to know distance around, that is circumference. Circumference is either 2 pi r or pi diameter. I know the diameter, so I'm going to use this one. So I know pi is 3.14 times the diameter, which is 4. So I'm going to take out my handy dandy calculator and say 3.14 times 4, and I get 1256. Now, I guarantee you one of the choices will be 1256, but that's not the answer. Remember, I need to add that to this right here, because the 1256 is only the measurement around here and here. The 8 and 8 is there. So when I add this up, I get 2856. So the distance around this odd shape is 2856. Now, what if it was the area? Would it be the same? No, it wouldn't, because area of a rectangle, which is hopefully what you see is in the inside, is a different formula. It's length times width. And some of you are getting that mixed up on the quizzes. You got to know when it says area and it's a rectangle, it's length times width. So here is my length 8 and here's my width 4. So it's 8 times 4 is 32. Now that only takes care of this. I still need, I feel like I'm back in elementary school, loving all the coloring. I still need to figure out this. Well, once again, 1/2 and half make a circle with the diameter of 4. Do I use the same formula as I used over here? No, this was for around the outside, that circumference. Area of a circle is pi r squared. Now wait a minute. I don't know the r, I only know the d. So what do I need to do? I need to cut this in half. Half of 4 will give me my radius, so my radius is 2. Now I'm going to use my formula, 3.14. The radius is 2, and I'm going to write it 2 times. And I'm going to get my calculator. And this is going to be one of those freak times, and sometimes it happens. It's the same. Trust me, it only happens once in a blue moon. Okay, so my area is 12.56. And when I get all done, I find out that my total area is 44.56. All right? Now, all right, this one. You guys were doing really good on these on the quiz, but I just threw it in for anybody that was struggling. So this is your turn. I used 34.54 inches of lace around a comforter. What is the diameter? I'll give you a minute. See you back here. Okay, welcome back. First thing I would have done is around a round comforter, I would have drawn a circle. It says distance, or what does it say? Lace around a comforter. So that means it's the outside. So the outside measurement is 34.54. Outside means circumference. Circumference formula is 2 pi r, or pi diameter. Since it wants me to find the diameter, I'm going to use this one. So I know that the circumference is 34.54. I know pi is 3.14. I don't know d. So now to get d alone, I divide by 3.14. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. This goes away. I have d. And now all I have to do is say 34, oops, I don't think I had it cleared, 34.54 divided by 3.14, and I get 11. So my diameter's 11. All right, you guys were doing good on those on the quiz. All right, here's another one. The square footage of a circle table is 28.26. Okay, guys, this is such a GED question. Listen, they're giving you the square footage of a circle table. Now, the final question isn't what's the radius, isn't what's the diameter, it's what the circumference is. But I can't do this until I figure out the radius or diameter. So that was my little hint to you. I gave you your hint. Go ahead and figure this out. I'll see you back here in a minute. Press pause. Okay, so welcome back. This is definitely a GED style question. First off, it doesn't even say anything about area here. You have to notice that it says the square footage. When it says square footage, that means this is an area question, or it starts off as an area question. So the first thing we have to do is we have to understand that the area is 28.26. So remember, with area, my formula is pi r squared. So I know 28.26. I know pi is 3.14, and I do not know what r is. So we know what to do here, and you guys were doing really good on this part of the quiz. So I do that, I get r squared, I take my calculator out, 28.26 divided by 3.14 is 9. Now be careful, this is where you got to be careful, that's r squared. I want to know what r is. So r is 3 because I got the square root of 9. Now I know the information here. I know what r is. The radius is 3. By the way, if I wanted to use diameter here, I'd say the diameter is 6, right? Because we know we double the radius to get to the diameter. Now we go back and answer this question. What is the circumference of the circle? Okay, circumference of a circle is either 2 pi r or pi diameter. I'm always lazy. This is my favorite one to use. So pi is 3.14. Diameter is 6, so I'm going to say 3.14 times 6. And I get 18.84. So the circumference, which is the final answer, is 18.84. The area was 28.26. I think this is a very GED style question. Okay, let's keep moving. All right, so here's what we're going to get to today. This is new. It is and it isn't. We have done volume, but we haven't done it with word problems. So today you're going to have some word problems on the quiz, but we're just going to go back and review. Volume of a rectangular cube box is length times width times height. So literally all I do is say 7 times 3 times 4. So 7 times 3 is 21. 21 times 4 is 84. Remember, it is always cubic feet or inches. That's very important, guys, that you get used to seeing whenever it's square, you know it's an area question. Whenever it's cubic, you know it's a volume question. Very important. Okay, by the way, the key word for today's question is Jim. Jim is my husband. He puts up with me. I don't know why. All right. So I can't get these apart. All right. Here's the question for you. This is very GED style too. They might give you two shapes, two boxes, and ask you which one holds more or what's the difference between the two. So I'm going to give you a minute. My question is, what is the difference between these two crates? I probably should have said, what is the cubic feet difference between these two crates? So go ahead and press pause, and I'll see you back here in a minute. Okay, to do this question, we would just figure out the volume of this box or crate and the volume of this one. All we need to do is length times width times height. So 10 times 2 is 20. 20 times 4 is 80. And here, 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. And then I just need to, since it's different, say 80 minus 18. And I get 62. So the answer would be 62 cubic feet is the difference. All right, now we've done cylinder before. So I want you to press pause and tell me what the volume of the cylinder is, and I'll see you back here in a minute. Okay, so, and I forgot to put feet or inches. So we know that volume is pi, which is 3.14, times my radius. Now remember, if it would have given me diameter, I would have had to cut it in half first. So my radius is 4. I need to write it twice in the calculator, type it twice in the calculator because it's squared, times my height. So I'm just going to come in here. I'm going to say 3.14 times 4 times 4 times 8. And I get 401.92. Now let's talk about rounding. Sometimes they might say round to the nearest tenth. Let's say today I say round to the nearest whole number. You could have done all your math right on the GED test, and if you don't round it right, your answer's wrong. So rounding is very important. So we've done rounding in class before. Remember, I always like to draw a line behind the place that we're talking about. A whole number, you would draw the line right through the decimal. The 9 would decide what to do with the 1. Remember, if the number behind the line is 0 through 4, you leave the number alone. If the number behind the line is 5 through 9, you bump it up. I know I'm talking really fast, but I'm trying to keep my videos under 20 minutes. But you can pause, rewind, and think about all of these things. So this 9 falls here. So it says bump this up. So this becomes a 2, a 0, a 4. And I don't need this behind it because we were rounding. So my answer would be 402 cubic, because it's a volume question, feet. Okay. Now, remember, we have done this before, so don't panic when you see it. I cannot get these apart tonight. Oh my, we haven't done these in a while. A sphere. what is the volume of the sphere? Pause it and I'll see you back here in a minute. Okay, so when we did this before, I told you you could type in your calculator 4/3, write it as a fraction. Or what I think is a little bit easier way is to do it this way. Volume equals 4 times, pi is 3.14, times radius, and I have to do it 3 times, 5 times 5 times 5. When I get the answer to that, then I divide by 3. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say 4 times 3.14 times 5 times 5 times 5. And I get 1,570 for the top. I'm going to divide it by 3. And I get 523.3333. Okay. All right, now let's round this one different. Let's say it says round to the nearest tenth. So the tenth is the first place after the decimal. So I'm going to draw my line here, remembering my rule, 0 through 3. I mean 0. Whoops. There's also so many 3's there. 0 through 4, leave it alone. 5 through 9, bump it up. So this 3 right here gets to make the decision what to do here. Well, it falls in this category, 0 through 4. Leave it alone. So I leave this guy alone. Everything else stays the same. I don't need to write 0, 0, 0. The whole idea of rounding is to kind of shrink my answer, make it easier to work with. So this is my answer, and then because it's volume, of course, we're going to put cubic feet. I think that is my last one. Yes. So, guys, what you need to do is take my quiz, rewind this, by the way, if you need to look at any more, and take my quiz. I'm going to be giving you word problems with these kind of questions, and I will be talking to you soon. If you have any questions, please remember to call me, text me. I am just sitting at my house, probably driving my husband crazy, so give me a call. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.